Welcome back to Ironhome, the only Starforged actual play that doesn't actually play Starforged. Today we continue with Vaults and Vows, Session 1. Now, I'll admit it's been a while since I played Session 0. I think it's been a few weeks since I last recorded that. So, I'm going to try to remember everything. Let's go over a quick recap. And I've had a few thoughts on how this session might go. And so I might rewrite some things. So, for Session 0, we have here that we went to the Stinky Skeever, Burble, the ex-assassin goblin, if I'm not mistaken. Got our bonds list over here. Yes, the goblin tavern keeper gave us a job. We got rough with the client, and we headed out to find Nyla, the dwarven thief. And we were waiting on more information from the messenger to bring us the job info. Now, I think maybe I rewrote this at the end of the session. I wrote some stuff, but I can't remember. So let's just go ahead with this. This is kind of what I wanted to go with. So let's go ahead and set the mood with some music. Now, let's go ahead and put some Underdark music. Or the Frontier. Let's go with the Underdark for now. I like the Underdark. So, we picture Tana walking out of these tunnels. Let's remember that we are in the underbelly. It's a large, huge hole of layered holes, a whole community, lots of little lights in the dark, lamps mostly, torches here and there. Tunnels that go into the sides, and we come out of this tunnel into the more what would be main passageways. Even along these passageways, there are constructions that are built over the nothingness. You know, you've got, how would it be? So you've got like maybe a few meters of dirt, and then after that, you've got wooden structures that are just using beams onto the lower levels. So actually, you're standing amidst beams and the shadows of the layer above you, and it's all very rickety and made of wood, and it's very dangerous, and there's lots of cloths and things and stuff just hanging around, maybe a chain here or there, and it's very dark in most places. Everyone carries usually a lantern with themselves. What about Tana? Shall we go down the classic fantasy route and say that Tana can just see in the dark? People are going to be like, well, Dragonborns can't see in the dark. They don't have dark vision. I don't know, but I feel like I'm just going to add it to there. I'm going to say that the red Dragonborns have, or maybe because of how she was raised, she's got some kind of dress. I don't like the idea of Tana, the Dragonborn barbarian, going around with like a little lantern in her hand. Like, it just feels like uninspiring. So I'm just going to say that, yeah, her reptilian eyes allow her to see better in the dark, and she does not need a lantern, which maybe is why she survived so much in the tunnels, in the dark below. As we've said, I believe we established that she has no weapons. She just has her claws and is barely dressed in rags, her chest completely uncovered. All right, so we walk out into the streets. We're looking for our companion, Nyla. Tana suddenly, oh, yeah. I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna go with Tana suddenly putting her hand down and picking up a little pickpocket. A little halfling that was holding Tana's purse now in his hands. And Tana says, do you know where Nyla is? And I'm just gonna go ahead and make a gather information move. Let's go with that. So we're gonna gather some information. Do we have any asset that would help us? No, in this case, our urchin does not help us. We're not spying on anyone. All right, so let's just go ahead and roll on wits. It's a miss. Your investigation unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest. Now, we established that Nyla isn't a great person. She's very troublemaking. So I'm going to say that as a thief, she's gotten in trouble with the Thieves Guild. She didn't pay her dues. You know, when you steal stuff and then you sell it and then you have to pay a certain percentage of that to the Thieves Guild. Well, she didn't pay her dues and now she's in trouble. And what kind of trouble is she in? She is in... Oh, I've got an idea. What if the Underdark has a kind of like an arena for entertainment, like a small coliseum, an underground kind of battling thing. And this little thief says, "Oh, she's gotten in trouble with the Thieves Guild. Hasn't paid her dues. They took her down to the pits. They took her down to the pits. They're making her fight for her life." Tana goes, grunts, lets go of the halfling, lets him get away with her purse, with what little coin she had left there, and it was not much. And she just makes her way down to the arena. Now, the arena. Let's see if we can put some music here. Whoops. Sorry about that. Let's see. I want to go with Valhalla Awaits. So you can hear people as Tana makes her way through the city, you know, the underbelly. As she approaches the arena, it's the pits. It's a very closed environment, so you kind of have to make your way in. Anyone with... It's not very... Is it hard to get in? That's a great question. Is it hard to get in? I'm going to say someone of Tana's reputation has no problem getting in. But let's just go ahead and ask the Oracle. I'm going to say it's very likely that we can get in. Can we get in easily? Yes, we can get in. You know, maybe we've even been there for entertainment. Maybe we've even fought there. Who knows? So let's go ahead and say that we again, it's one of these tunnels. It's guarded by thugs. We make our way in, pushing across the cloths and the rags and everything. The bloody rags hanging as trophies or perhaps some kind of mementos. And as we're approaching, we can begin to hear the cheering, the yelling, the excitement of the arena. We push through the crowd, and there's a sort of kind of a fence built around this, and you've got people at the top and people at the bottom, and it's like several layers. And inside we can see that Nyla is... Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. I've closed my bonds. Yes, we can see that Nyla is the dwarven thief, is barely holding up. Well, not barely. She's holding up, but against some kind of other fighter, you know, let's say a human person with a kind of blade or something, a bandit, a thug of some kind, and they're just kind of like ting 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 ting. And the gladiator, thank you, the gladiator is just doing it mostly for entertainment. You see that Nyla is kind of like a little bit sweating. Maybe this isn't her first fight. You know, there's already blood on the arena, a little big stain, so you can see that Nyla has already injured someone. And this next gladiator is just, you know, puffing their chest and saying, you know, doing it for the crowd, ting ting ting, taunting Nyla and so forth. So what we're gonna do is the following. We're gonna intervene. We're going to climb above the fence. We're gonna push through our way through the crowd. We're gonna climb up on the fence and just jump in. Now, normally no one's gonna stop us because, you know, this isn't... And you can hear the crowd already starting to go, whoa, they're excited. What's happening? New things. It's fun. And the other gladiator kind of makes a face like, oh, what's going on here? Nyla looks at Tana and says, and you can almost see her smile a little bit. And Nyla goes, about time, where were you? And Tana just, gives her a quick glance, a sharp glance to keep her mouth shut. You hear a bam, 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 as to silence the crowd, and from up amongst the upper levels in a big, huge wooden chair, the leader of the Thieves Guild. A female gnome with a big nose piercing, scars on her face, and ragged greenish hair sits on this big chair, the leader of the Thieves Guild. She's banging the butt of her knife against the arm of the chair to silence everyone. She has a very wicked looking dagger. Wicked as in, not wicked, but wicked as in that. And she silences the crowd. And let's go for some suspense music here. Even though that was very suspensey and we might as well have left it. Let's go for this one. Why not? Let's give it a try. No, that's too magical, too epic. Let's just go for that one. So, things get very tense as everyone quiets down. Tana stares at the Thieves Guild leader, who says, "What is the meaning of this?" And Tana says, "You can't kill this thief. She works for me." And the guild leader says, "This thief has a contract bound to us. Her life is forfeit and is mine to do with what I want." Tana once again glances at Nyla, who kind of just shrugs. And Tana looks back at the guild leader. "Fine. Then I offer my life in exchange for hers. Have me face your greatest challenge. And if I win, both of us go free." Sounds like a good deal. So let's go ahead and what would this be? A compel. I think this is definitely an inciting one. But I don't think this is a compel. This is one of those situations where you're like, should I use a compel or should I use a face danger? So in this case, I think it's more gonna be a face danger, because I don't see them asking something of us in return. But maybe not. Let's yeah, you know what? I like a compel, because a compel moves the story forward, like Sean has said in the Discord. So let's go ahead and use that. Let's do a compel, and I'm gonna do it with iron. Let's see how it goes. It's a miss. They refuse or make a demand which costs you greatly. Oh. I'm gonna say a demand which costs us greatly. Which is kind of what we were going for already. We were going to fight. Okay, I like what so this is what the guild leader says. The guild leader says, "I don't accept this offer. However, if the two of you together fight for your lives, then we can have a deal. Nyla's eyes go like a little bit wide. She's about to speak, open her mouth, and Tana says, "Very well, we agree to these terms." And kind of extends her claws a little bit. So, the gladiator, the gates open and the gladiator leaves. The guild leader, bashing her dagger against the arm of the chair, says, and this is one of the things I had thought of earlier, release the gragglers. And as she says this, one of the other gates open, and we see these two fiendish-looking creatures with kind of like dog-like, but large, maybe lion-sized, but many eyes, like an alien-looking creature. Many eyes. And where its mouth would be, it has a sort of circular mouth full of tiny little jagged teeth, kind of like a drill. It's this creature. It's obviously a tunneling creature of some kind. And from its many teeth, from the inside of its mouth, you can see it drips a little bit of green that falls to the ground and it goes evaporating. It's acidic saliva. Tana smiles and says, "Ha! I used to eat these for breakfast." And Nyla kind of looks at her. "Really? Aren't they, like, acidic?" And Tana says, "Yeah." Gives it an extra kick. And the creatures immediately pounce towards them. So let's go ahead and start our first combat of this campaign. Let's go with Arctic Attack. Done. All right. So we are going to enter the fray. Let's give our foe a rank. Give me just 1 second. Let's make them formidable, because there's two of them. So, gragglers. All right, so we are facing off against our foe. Moving into position, we are ambushed, we're neither. So I think we're facing off against our foe. So let's go ahead and roll enter the fray. Let's see if one of our classes. All right, let's roll heart. It's a miss. Combat begins with you at a disadvantage. Pay the price and your foe has the initiative. Egads. You are separated from something or someone. Yeah, this makes perfect sense. All right, so I'm going to say that these creatures are really fast. These aren't normal gragglers. These have been trained. These have been fighting in the pits for a while. And they've been made to be more aggressive. You can almost see it in the skin. They have like marks where they've been kind of prodded and poked and injured, and they've scarred everywhere. These creatures have not been treated well here in the pits. And as they do, they just pounce really quickly on Tana, and Nyla is holding back the creature with her sword, and then we're obviously like separated in different parts of the thing of the pits. The crowd goes crazy immediately as Tana just has this graggler right on top of her, all the rows and rows of teeth and the acid dropping right in front of her. So I'm going to use my barbarian class, and I'm going to say that Actually, I'm gonna do something even cooler. Tana is... Oh, no, I can't. You know what? I'm gonna do it because I can. Because in Ironsworn, you can. So I'm going to turn the tide. No, it's too soon to turn the tide. It's too soon to turn the tide. So, let's go with our barbarian class. We're going to enter a rage. And we gain the following benefits. We add +1 and deal +1 harm on a hit when you strike or clash in close quarters. And we add +1 when you do harm or face danger with strength. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And what happened to the music? That one didn't loop. Well, we'll have to configure that one later. Let's go ahead and put something else. Let's put Magic Reborn. Why not? Or let's go with Desolation. Yeah, I like that. All right. So, we're going to do just that. We are going to face danger to try to get this creature off of us. And much like my house rules for Starforged, on a weak hit, we will... I hate making house rules on the fly. Maybe we should just clash. Let's just go ahead and clash. We're in close quarters. So we're going to do that. We're going to use our claws, which are natural weapons, and we are going to clash. So basically, this creature, we're holding it back from its mouth. It's just closing in on us. And you can see that Tana is kind of like starting to get angry and happy at the same time with this situation. And she yells in the face of this creature as she goes into a rage, a barbarian rage. So, we are going to clash. We are going to add +1. And we are going to roll iron. And it's a weak hit. You inflict your harm, but then pay the price and your foe has initiative. Alright, so we are going to inflict 3 harm on the gragglers because of our claws and our barbarian rage. But then we must pay the price. Roll again and apply that result, but make it worse. Okay. A person or community you care about is exposed to danger. That makes perfect sense. Let's change the music. Let's put the Grey Hunt. I'm sorry about the music. Let's just go with Brutal Battle. That's a quick one. I know that one works. Person or community you care about is exposed to danger. Okay, so Nyla is now basically... This creature is jumping on her arm. And we can see the teeth kind of like starting to dig in through her leather armor. And she's just yelling. Her knife has fallen to the side. But what happened with us? What happened with us is that we just clawed this creature's face off, and how are we still in a bad spot? They still have the initiative. So basically what happens is we just clawed the face off this creature. Several of its eyes are now bleeding off, and it backs up a little bit, and we're like, we roll around on the ground, and we haven't quite stood up. You know, we're kind of in that crouched position, and we're staring at this creature, and it's staring back at us, and we can't really do much. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to say that I'm going to run I need to go and help Nyla. So I need to get this creature out of the way. So I'm going to face danger with strength as I'm going to run into this creature and just tackle it with my shoulder to knock it aside. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to face danger. I'm going to add +1 because I'm in a rage. And she just... Violence. Let's go ahead and roll. It's a strong hit. Take +1 momentum. Tana just runs into this creature with full force, bomb, bashing her, bashing the creature to one side. It yelps like a dog and falls to the ground, rolling in the dirt. And then Nyla makes her way straight to this other creature and just strikes by jumping right on it. Right onto its back, kind of like another tackle, digging her claws into the creature and then just rolling off with it. That's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna strike. We're gonna add another +1, and we're gonna roll iron. It's a miss. Oh boy, this fight is not going well. Your attack fails and you must pay the price. Your foe has the initiative. It is harmful. It is indeed harmful. Now, I know that in Ironsworn, formidable foes inflict 3 harm, but you know, we can kind of tweak that. You know what? Let's leave it. Let's leave it like that. Let's get it badly injured. So we're gonna take 3 harm, and then we are going to endure harm. And we don't have any benefits of this. And it's a miss. Also suffer -1 momentum. That is terrible. So what happens is that we are running to strike this creature down, and instead of us tackling the one that's attacking Nyla, it tackled the other one, the one that we had knocked down, somehow recovers in time, rushes at us, and tackles us back again. And now, for dramatic effect, and now we're both rolling on the ground. The arena is going crazy. Everyone, they've never seen such a show. Usually the gragglers finish off their foes really quickly. Nyla's in trouble. It's time to turn the tide. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to turn the tide. As we're rolling on the ground with this creature, we are going to pin it down. And you see Nyla, and you see Tana's just furious. Her eyes as red as her skin. And she begins to open her mouth. And the crowd suddenly gets quiet as you see a light coming in from inside Tana's throat, shining upon the creature, and she will use her short-range fire breath. So it says, once per combat, you may strike. We're gonna add our iron, add +1. We add +1 for turning the tide. We're gonna add 1,000,000 +1s. So let's go ahead and do that. +1, +1, roll iron. A weak hit! Even with all of that, that's okay. We take +1 momentum on a hit, and we deal +1 harm. Oh, that's on a strong hit. So it says inflict your harm. All right, so let's go. Mark progress. Mark progress, and we lose the initiative again. This is not going well. So what happens is Tana breathes fire upon this creature. The graggler screeches in pain as its face and teeth and everything is just melted straight off from how near that fire breath is hitting it. And as Tana finishes doing that, the other graggler leaves Nyla alone because one of them is already dead, very much dead. The crowd once again, they're shouting. You can hear people asking for bets. This is gambling. And then this other graggler runs back at Tana. And once again, Tana is caught in a tussle with this creature. And to keep it simple, I'm just gonna say we go ahead and clash. We still have the +1 from the rage. Tana is furious and will not leave this battle until all her foes have been killed. And it's once again a weak hit. We are not doing well. So that is 3 progress. And let's go ahead and pay the price. The current situation worsens. How does the current situation worsen? Okay, my first thought is Nyla was lethally injured, and we need to finish this quickly. She is dying. The acid or the bite or something. She's bleeding out from her shoulder, and she's yelling out for help, and she's kind of like slowly dragging herself up to the fence, and she's trying to take off her armor. You can see that she's losing consciousness. She might not make it, and that would be terrible. That would be terrible. So, yes, I upped the stakes too quickly. Let's not kill so many NPCs this fast. Okay, so we're in this scuffle with the Graggle that is kicking our ass, really. I mean, this is not going well. Let's go ahead and try to overpower this creature. We're gonna go face danger with strength as we try to pick it up off of us. Instead of a clash, we're just gonna try to get this thing off of us and maybe toss it to one side. So once again, we're gonna add a +1 here, and we're gonna roll with iron, and hopefully we'll get a strong hit. A strong hit with a match. I love it. All right, so we just grab this creature and we toss it to one side. It hits the fence. Let's go ahead and end the fight. So we're gonna roll against 8 progress, and we'll see how this goes. A strong hit. Yes. The Graggler that knocked aside against this fence slowly tries to pick itself back up, but immediately Tana just like stabs the creature with her hand across the face, digging her claws into it, and then starts with her other hand to dig in and rip apart, just using the claws to get at it. And she's just screaming and yelling, and there's blood and eyes everywhere. And she slowly begins to calm herself down as the fight is over. And we are going to have to endure stress for that. However, as she calms down, she looks over to Nyla, who is bleeding out and is seriously wounded. So we are going to try to quickly heal her. We are going to try to heal her. So we're gonna roll wits. We're not very good at healing. I mean, we're a barbarian. We've never been really good at healing. So let's see how this goes. It's a weak hit. That's good. That's really good. You can get rid of this progress track. Okay. So your care is helpful, but you must suffer -1 supply. Okay, I can suffer -1 supply. So basically, Tana, a little... I don't know if she has anything. Let's say she has like a little knapsack, and she just takes it out and just bandages up Nyla, who will survive this, is just momentarily unconscious. So let's go back and put our... Let's try City Intrigue soundtrack. The crowd calms down after the tung, tung, tung of the guild leader. Tana, having dealt with Nyla's wounds, stands up and looks at the guild leader. The guild leader makes a face. Tana makes a face. Many words are said in silence, and eventually the guild leader says, "Open the gate for them, and let her know that if she fails to pay her debts next time, there won't be second chances." Tana nods, puts Nyla on her back, and walks out of the arena with people celebrating the excellent fight they just had. So I'm gonna say this counts as progress on our quest because we have definitely gained vital support. So let's mark progress on that quest, as we have rescued Nyla, and we will definitely need her help to infiltrate the prison and take out the target. As we're walking out of there, with Nyla on our back, making our way back to wherever Tana lives, and let's just go ahead and say that she has a room in the Stinky Skeever Tavern. So as they're making their way, Nyla kind of regains consciousness and says, "Hey, I guess we're square now." And Tana just looks at her and says, "What? What do you mean, square? I just saved your life." And Nyla goes, "Yeah, but remember that time I helped you escape the guards when we were up in the city?" And Tana goes, "I was helping you with the guards." "Yeah, well, I helped us escape, didn't I?" And Tana just shakes her head, says, I've got a job for us. And all this time she's like carrying her. And Tana just, tells her, "We've got to infiltrate a prison and kill someone. You can have half my share if you'll help me on it. And please use that share to pay back the Thieves Guild what you owe them. Not saving your ass again next time." Tana goes, Come on, I was doing okay. I had him on the ropes. You should have seen the guy before." Just wake me up when we get there, okay?" And she kind of faints again. And I'm gonna say that we don't have time to sojourn. So let's go ahead and say that we go to the stinky skeever. We drop off Tana to recover a little bit. Not too much, just a little bit. Maybe one night, and she'll be fine. And in the meantime, we are going to heal ourselves. We're going to try to treat ourselves, which really won't go well. But let's give it a try. Let's give it a go. See how it goes. It's a weak hit. This is fine. We will definitely use some momentum, and we will take up to 2 health. So as Nyla recovers, we also patch ourselves up, bandage up, and get ready. Let's go ahead and change to the Underdark. Actually, let's go with the Frontier. I like that one too. So, the next day, having slightly recovered, Tana and Nyla make their way into the upper city. And they do so via the sewers. So, we find Tana and Nyla in the sewers. Nyla has a little torch on her belt. She has all kinds of equipment as a thief, and she's got a little map. She's having Tana hold the lantern above the map, and she's looking at it, and she's saying, yeah, okay. So we've got to follow this path here, through over here, and then through here, and that will get us just underneath the prison. After that, I think I can get us into the block. We'd have to figure out which cell is which, and then, well, you can do your thing. But I should be able to get us to the prison. Tana nods and says, all right, let's get going. And we can see them walking away into the darkness of the sewers, a long tunnel. Rats squeaking away, splosh, 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 through the water, the light vanishing into the tunnel. And now we're going to use the beginner session oracle table that I took from Starforged. And by the way, you can add your own custom oracles by creating a folder here that says custom oracles and just dropping any rollable tables you want. So that's what we're going to do. To end the session, we are going to roll here on this table. External factors create new danger, urgency, or importance for a quest. Interesting, interesting. Let's go ahead and see here. Secure land. All right. So as we see them leaving through the sewers, everything seems calm at the normal, what would we say, prison, the dungeons. When all of a sudden there is a loud ruckus. You can be hearing lots of voices and yelling and everything, and many guards. The dungeon door opens. We can see the jail keeper sitting down at a table, digging out the dirt from his nails with a little knife. And we can see the doors smash open as many guards walk in, and they throw down this what will we say? Let's go ahead and roll some kind of character. Woof, disfigured. Resourceful. Let's go with roll. A warrior, yes. A warrior. I'm gonna say maybe another barbarian like Tana. Let's go like another barbarian. This one's maybe a half giant, some kind of, it's a very, very large barbarian. Gets knocked down on the ground. Lots of guards surrounding him. They're just dragging him, and as you got this, and they're putting him into a big cell. Lots of chains around, and there's a lot of hubbub going around as the guards are saying that there's something important about this prisoner. Something happened. They did something, and security will be doubled and tripled, and I don't know, this or that. So obviously, something happened, and this mysterious warrior, maybe not necessarily a barbarian, but definitely an out-of-towner with very distinct markings on their skin. They are, like I said, a large half giant, and they're very silent. They don't seem to place much resistance, and they simply just sit there. And then as the camera slowly goes up to their face suddenly looks up into we see their eyes, and that's it. We don't know who this person is. We don't know what they're doing there. They definitely are dangerous, but security has tripled. Things are not good for us. And this is where we will end today's session. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with everyone you know. And I will see you in the next session. Bye-bye.